Good evening. Good evening. Oh my gosh, I am super excited to have you guys join me live for days 17 and 18 of our 30-day challenge. I did get away from some of the days, and as you can imagine, being able to do a 30-day challenge definitely takes all different types of logistics and essentially different things can absolutely pop up in committing to a challenge like this. So one thing that I decided to do is to double up on about 4 days thereabouts. So we're going to do day 17 and 18 today. We're going to double up in that training. And then tomorrow, I'm going to give you guys days 19 and 20. And I think we should much be caught up. Sunday, I can just do day 20 this upcoming Sunday, and then we'll be back on track for the last 10 days of the challenge. So I'm super excited to have you guys join me. I'm going to go ahead and tap into my TikTok audience. They're excited to be able to join as well. And if you're not following me on the TikTok platform, you definitely want to do so. I'm live on that side every day in between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., excuse me, daily. Okay. 7 a.m. and 7:30 a.m. daily for about an hour. So super excited to have you guys join me. And so before I jump into the live over on the TT side, if you did not know, I do offer currently consulting and coaching, specifically helping you in the areas of your business models that connect to online business. So whether you're trying to build a service-based business, whether you are trying to build a affiliate-based business or either a digital products-based business, I can help you in all of those different areas and would be excited to do so. You can always go to my Stand Store link. You can find that over here on the YT side with the links or either scroll in the description area. Additionally, you can join me over on TT and click the link in my bio over on Instagram as well, and then book a 15-minute pre-consultation. We meet, make sure that we can gel, and then we kind of go from there. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there that I'm definitely still taking clients for this month of November. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right in, guys, to go ahead and get started. All right, so this evening we are talking about the power of having proof and also connecting to community. Okay, the power of having proof within your business and also connecting to your community. Okay, so we're going to take a deep dive. And during this challenge, one of the most exciting things that I've been able to do, hey, welcome in MLA Hair Studio. One of the greatest things that I've had the opportunity to do while I've been on this 30-day challenge is to take a deep dive into building your online business, because sometimes when we're doing the daily lives, I do not within an hour's time, hey, welcome in, Sean, have the opportunity to be able to really dive into the components that's needed in a deep way, like within the challenge time. Okay, so a lot of times when you see different online business owners sharing different information with you that essentially connects to all of the components that you need, this is the real thing. We are only going to give you quick wins. Okay, we're going to give you quick wins, but most oftentimes we will go ahead, hey B, welcome in. We will go ahead and create like a deep dive through our particular offerings to be able to help you. And most oftentimes I tell women, if you're following me, watch what I do and do what I do. Okay. And so that definitely is a note. Hey, welcome in, guys. Hey, Lady Lex. That is definitely a note that needs to be taken. Essentially, it's super duper important for you to, if you're on social media platforms, that when you are going live, that you primarily focus on like an outline of what it is that you would offer and in a deep dive within a course or either within digital products. Okay. And so I'm excited to see you guys in the room over here on the TT side. If you've never seen my face before, my name is Tamia Denise and I teach female entrepreneurs how to build online businesses essentially. And if you're a male coming through the room, hey, Mama Bear, welcome back. You can definitely grab some information from the training. So usually in the evening time, I'm on at 7 a.m. live. But in the evenings for the next 30 days, we're behind like 4 days. So I'm doubling up today, guys, because as you can imagine, doing a challenge, hey, Sandra, hey, Sabrina, for 30 days is something that's pretty intense, right? Life happens, all of the different things. One particular week when I was doing the challenge, I actually, hey, Tina, hey, welcome in, guys. I actually wasn't feeling good. So I kind of had to scale back. Hold on, guys, let's make sure we have our charger. And anytime you're doing trainings live, so many different things with technology and all of the different things could definitely go wrong, right? So it's definitely a real exciting thing versus when you're recording or pre-recording your content and then kind of constructing it that way. Okay. So tonight in particular, if you're going to be taking notes, you are in a position where you are tired of having one stream of income. You want to learn how to make multiple streams of income. This is not a cliche, but if you are at a place to where as you have any level of common sense, I'll start with that, and you're watching where we are in the signs of the times connected to what's going on in our culture, connecting to what's exactly going on in our government, then there has to be something that's triggered in your mind to understand that we're not living in the days that we used to live in. I remember growing up as a young girl, and welcome in, guys. Thank you so much for liking the live, Angela. I remember growing up as a young girl. I'll be 42. It's coming August. And thinking and just hearing people talk about the importance of getting a government job. We no longer live in those times because government jobs do not equal security. And so what I tell people is, thank you so much for the follow, Angela. What I tell people is that it's important for you to recognize the season that you're in within life, and ultimately, just like we see what's going on in the world, no one should have the power to be able to let you know when you and your family needs to eat, right? And so you want to be able to have the capabilities, the skills to be able to create multiple streams of income and get away from the regular traditional way of doing things. We essentially follow back, like, share, engage, rent is overdue. Boo boo. Okay. Um, so essentially, welcome in, guys. Do me a favor and share out the live when you come into the building. I'm going to help you to shift your mentality when it comes to engaging in lives and just getting information. If you ever had a desire to create an online business, you first have to shift your mindset to understanding that you have to move from consumer to moving towards having a mentality to be able to serve and to interact as a community. So when you guys tap the screen, or if you power share the live, you give me the opportunity and all of my passion to essentially be able to connect to female entrepreneurs to help them build online businesses. Okay. That's my desire. That's my mission. And one thing that I understand is that I can't do that by myself. I need the support of community to be able to help me help other people to essentially serve them. Okay. And so we're shifting our mindset. We had an amazing time this morning on the live. I was able to talk to so many female entrepreneurs, and essentially they got amazing steps, preliminary steps, foundational steps to be able to build their businesses. Okay. So if you are in the process of wanting to build a business, maybe you never thought about it till you cross paths with my live. I am so honored to have the opportunity to be able to share some steps with you. One thing that I want to mention is that usually in the evening time, I'm on at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for liking the live. We go over a deeper dive. So right now we're in the midst of a 30-day challenge where I'm teaching you the deeper parts of building an online business, which essentially are really important. If you want to go ahead and watch the replay, you can go ahead and join me on the YT side. Are you picking up what I'm putting down on the YT side? Thank you so much, Jojo, for the follow. Okay. I can't say the full word because TT will go ahead and restrict me, and we don't want that. Okay. So if you're picking up what I'm putting down, and if you understand the different abbreviations for the other platforms, hey, Spaced Out Candy, then you can go ahead and follow me on that side and then go back and watch the library of videos for the 30-day challenge so that you can, really begin to plan out your business. One other thing that I most oftentimes will tell people, yes, I finally made it in time. I'm happy you're here, Spaced Out Candy. Hey, Jojo, welcome in, guys. Do me a favor, hit that screen, tap it up so we can get these likes up and get the live over to the FYP page. And additionally, make sure that you guys share out the live to a female entrepreneur that you know this information would be beneficial to. Okay. Now, if you join the live and you feel like, okay, I still feel like I'm kind of in the middle of learning about online business. You always have the opportunity to be able to coach with me. I do a 4-week coaching program. I meet with you twice a week for an hour. And then additionally, you get a connection to me via my business phone line. Gonna go join on my other account, RQ. Be right back. Okay, cool. And so I oftentimes will tell you, you can do what you would like. But what I recommend as a coach, expert in this particular space, having had done online business for several years now, I recommend that if you're going to take the information, that you have a mentality to go ahead and implement the information. Hold on, guys. There we go. My phone was not charging. Um, and so you definitely want to make sure that you're implementing the information, because what's the point of taking down information and then you don't get results, right? I'm the type of person, hey, Karen, welcome in, that when I'm taking in information, the way that I'm able to get results is by implementing it. Okay. Never forget that. You never want to just have this mentality to whereas you're just like consuming. No, if you want to go ahead and create a business, you have to learn how to create habits, okay? New habits, mental habits, physical habits of making sure that you implement, because that's how you're going to get results. Most oftentimes I'm very empathetic of female entrepreneurs that are like, oh, I went ahead and I took down the information, but I didn't get the results. You didn't do what I told you to do, which is essentially following what I'm telling you to do and implementing it, right? It's just as simple as that. Hey, Jazz, welcome in. Hey, uniquely, Imani, Taj. Hey, guys. So I've been thinking about changing my niche. That's fine. Just as long as you start from one place and then you build out some, so that you can get the hang. Hey, Shannon, welcome in. Hey, Coco, Sophia, welcome into the live. Okay. So as I'm talking, if it's getting good to you, make sure you tap with that screen so we can get this out to the FYP page. Hey, good to see you guys. All right, let's ready to ride. Get ready to ride. Okay. So, I want to be able to talk to you guys about the importance of making sure that you have social proof in your business. Now, this may not, thank you, Courageous, for the follow. What our goals today, Boo? So today we're going to be talking about the importance of connecting to community within our 30-day challenge. We're on days 17 and 18. You can watch the replays over on YT. All right. The importance of having community as it connects to having an online business. And additionally, we're going to talk a little bit about the importance of social proof. Okay. I'll go ahead and say that again. The importance of building trust and having social proof and also community. This is definitely something that's really important, right? And so what you recognize is that ultimately, making promises to people when you're an online business does not pay the bills, but proof does. Okay. This is something that's very important. Okay. So today, as we go through the process, I'm going to show you as a business how to, as you build up and as you pivot your business, how to create receipts that convert essentially. So if you've been one of the type of people that usually see people's content, I'm not saying that everybody's proof is 100%, but you see people's content and they're showing you screenshots of that equals social proof of maybe paydays or either client testimonials, all of the different things. And maybe you feel like, okay, that can't be true, right? Put a 1 in the chat. If you don't mind, put a 1 in the chat. It's real. Okay. And so I think in the beginning of your journey, especially if you're on the other side of what I call making digital money, right? Thank you, Jazz, for telling the truth. You do have that mentality, but most oftentimes to everything, there is a strategy. Thank you, Kay Marie, for the follow. I appreciate you. Good to see you, sis. And so, most oftentimes, when you have a certain mentality and you have not had a taste of making what I call magic money, okay, which is digital money, which is essentially having a digital business, it can kind of be too good to be true, okay, until you actually get results. But one of the way that digital marketers essentially are able to show social proof is by showing receipts, okay? And so what would that look like for a service-based business like a remote cleaning business agency? That essentially would look like having receipts for before and after pictures, right? Because in a service-based business like that, you have to show social proof in terms of I obtained this job, This is what it looked like prior to, this is what it looks like after. And that's super duper important, because when you can show proof within your business, then there's a level of credibility, right, in your visibility that helps people to be able to trust you when you consistently decide to show up. Okay. Because essentially, just like every other relationship you have in your life, it's very, very, very super duper important that you have a mentality to be able to connect to community, right? And that takes trust. Anybody that you trust. Thank you, Robin, for joining the live. Thank you so much for liking the live. I appreciate you guys. I see love here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And so all of that being said, immediately when I talk about having proof within your online business, that automatically connects to community, right? Because you essentially are building community. You're turning your proof into profit, but then at the same time, you're growing a real community. We're not just talking about followers, right? At the end of the day. And so a lot of times people will have followers, but one of the greatest trends, you heard it here first, that you're going to see in entrepreneurship, thank you so much for the daily heart me, I appreciate you, is community, right? And so I've been in the online business space for quite some time. I had an online boutique. It was brick and mortar as well. And I actually used to go to women's conferences and sell my clothes years ago. But then connected to that, not really connected, but another business, I had a subscription-based business, right? And so it was important even in those businesses to build community. And so the point of me bringing that up is back in the day, this was the point when I used to, let's say, join business building communities as I was learning certain skills in digital marketing. It was always like this feel like you had like one person on the top that built out the community and everything surrounded around that person, right? And that's fine. But I think that I was mostly attracted to the communities, to where as you enter these communities, you pay for these communities, and then you saw people interacting and kind of helping each other, right? And that's the trend that we're getting ready to see really emerge. We already see it now, but to be able to be connected to a community of people that have the same mindset and they have the same goals is something that's super duper important. Okay. So as an online business builder or owner, you're essentially going to make sure that you have a mentality to be able to grow your community. And so by doing that, you have to teach them how to trust you. Okay. That's something that's super duper important. And you do that by showing up. And know that when you have proof in your business, essentially that will always convert. Okay. It will always convert 100%. All right. So anyone that, you're watching on social media and they're saying that they help their clients, it is important for you to see proof, right? And so Jazz said, yes, my biggest struggle is how to turn the support into sales. The support will convert into sales as soon as you are hitting the pain points of your people. Okay. And I know it's like, well, how do I hit the pain points of my people? You have to pay attention to what your community is telling you that they need. Okay. And we do this through creating different pieces of content, through simply asking people what their needs are. If you're in the beginning of what you're doing, paying attention to your analytics, paying attention to where people are going within your content, paying attention to how long people are watching your content or the videos that you put out there. There are so many different ways to be able to connect, okay, to the conversion from support to sales. Then additionally, this is a hard thing, but you should not be looking for support primarily from your community, like people that you already know. All right. One of the things that a lot of people in the online business space will tell you is that when you first start your journey, you need to block everybody that you know. I'm talking about your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your sister, uncle. You can send them a text on the other side and let them know, hey, I'm building something, but essentially I need to be in a certain mentality to where as I'm interacting with people that don't know me yet, and I don't want to feel some type of way because I feel like you are not supporting what I'm doing. And most oftentimes people do not support what you do, the people that you already know, because more than likely you are not hitting their pain points, right? You're not hitting their pain points. Just because the fact that you know them does not necessarily mean that you can help them. All right. And when you have that mentality and you understand that concept, then you're not mad with people because of the fact that they won't buy your coaching service or your ebook or your cleaning services. You focus on the people that you've created certain levels of resources for, and then you scale it up from there. Hold on, guys. I'm having some trouble. my phone charging, which is getting on my nerves. Sorry. Okay. So we have that understanding. Now, there are different types of proof, okay, that you can start to look at as an online business owner. All right. And you've seen this, but now you're shifting from consumer mindset to now becoming a business owner. You're on this side of the scope. So you're looking at things from a very strategic way because your mindset is beginning to shift. Okay. So there are different ways to be able to have types of proof. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you some simple ones. You can go ahead and jot them down and then start to implement it within your business. Hey, Tracy, welcome in. All right. So people go ahead and they have social proofs. Okay. And this is different examples that you can show on screen within your content by doing the following. They will have different screenshots of DMs. So if they're having a customer that's maybe, in a funnel that connects to their DMs, they will do different types of screenshots. Okay. So let's say their particular customer or client gets a win, they get a conversion. They're like, oh my goodness, what you taught, what you trained, the strategies that you gave me helped me to convert my clients. Then that's what you see in terms of a screenshot. Okay. And so you see this all the time. Just start paying more attention so that you can then take those strategies and then use them to the best of your ability within your business, because you're using the clause of differentiation. Don't be in a mentality where I feel like, oh, I'm copying people. There's nothing new under the sun, and whatever you do will have your unique flair on it. Okay, so you never have to worry about that in the end. Of course, you don't want to be presumptuous and you're copying people's stuff from A to Z, but you do want to be able to see what's out there and what's already working. And then you want to utilize those methods to be able to implement that within your business. Next, client wins. So what you will see a lot of times is that people have short clips, right? They have quote graphics and also case studies and slides. This is something, hey, Amarilis, I like that name. I hope I said it correctly. But most oftentimes you will see this as well. It is very important that there are client wins because people want to know that what it is that you're doing to help other people absolutely is working. So one of the things that we do, and we do it unconsciously, is that let's say you go on Amazon to order a particular product. Okay, I got you on that question. What if you go on Amazon to look at a particular product? What's the first thing that you guys do when you go on Amazon? You can answer me in the chat. What's one of the first things that you do? All right. So I'll tell you what I do. I go straight to the reviews, And most oftentimes, this is an automatic thing because we're looking for proof. We want to be able to see that the product that we are getting ready to buy, the reviews, right, Jazz? We want to know that other people have already took part in it. And when you scroll down, let's say you're on Amazon, what happens is that people will post different videos, they'll post screenshots, right, of the fact that they were able to get a result. All right. And so this is very important for validation. People will also, and what you can also do to build trust with proof within your business is do a behind the scenes. Okay. Do a behind the scenes. You can do like a fulfillment of different workflows or work orders, all of the different things, which helps people to understand, okay, this person is doing the work. A lot of times, let's say if somebody has like an online t-shirt business, you'll see them go live and they're fulfilling the orders, okay, on the camera. This gives them validation and proof. They're in the process of, printing out receipts. They're in the process of packing the t-shirts, okay? This builds trust for your customers. Last but not least, you can also create testimonials, right? 15 to 30-second client videos, essentially, right? And put that on a screen with text overlay. All right. So I just gave you 4 different ways you can start to create social proof for your online business. It's very important because what will happen is that as you build up that credibility and that visibility as a business owner, now what will happen is that there is a system that's developed, and then automatically your videos will start to convert from content to clients and then obviously to cash. All right. But you have to get a momentum in place in order to be able to do this. All right. So next, I want to talk to you guys a little bit on the same topic about building trust with proof about DMs. Okay. So if let's say, for example, I'm looking on this side because I'm on YT as well, streaming live. Okay, guys. So let's say someone asked you, how did you go ahead and get your first customers or clients? Okay. How did you go ahead and get your first customers or clients? It's important that if you feel comfortable, thank you so much, Shan's Wealth Mentor. I appreciate you for the daily heart me. Thank you. And so it's super important that first you make sure that you're comfortable with that. Let's say you're first building your business, you don't have to um, necessarily give the A to Z, I personally think, until you feel comfortable in your momentum. All right. But you can potentially give a breakdown. Tell them what you did to get the first 5 clients. All right. Maybe you went ahead and you created a lead magnet. And then your particular person went ahead and entered your particular funnel. Then they set up a call with you through your application. What I think is most important, I kind of want to reframe what I just said. You want to be comfortable in sharing your process, but in my opinion, okay, and different things that I've done down through the process, that is that you share what the system is. Okay. So if you share what the system is, that's essentially creating proof for what the end result is. Okay, which I think is very, very, very important. Okay, so on top of that, you can create different pieces of content, like I mentioned, but you can go ahead and create different series. This is what you see a lot in social media. So maybe somebody has like a Proof Friday series. So every Friday, they're literally sitting on live, and maybe if they have a business that allows for them to like connect on like a 2-part live. What I mean is, like, you're sitting in one seat, it's almost like an interview, and you're interviewing on the live the client that was able to get results from utilizing your particular uh, products or services. That's something that is definitely 100% important, because you at least have a consistency that's now connected to your particular content, and also to your platform. All right. So when you're doing this, ultimately, you just want to go ahead and make sure that you have a consistency of a momentum, because when you do that, you're creating new habits in your business building. All right. So I'm going to do just a quick recap, because we're going to go ahead and pivot over to building community and not followers, because this is a 2-part. It's not a series. Essentially, it's a part of our challenge, but I'm doubling up because we did miss a couple of days. We're in 30 days, y'all. Doing 30 days live is no joke, okay? Because so many different things can happen when you're doing live versus when you're doing pre-recorded content, all right? But I'm committed, all right? So we're doubling up tonight. So just as a quick recap, the reason why you want to make sure 100%, I teach in repetition so I can make sure that you got it. And if you're taking notes or if you're just coming in, you have to make sure that you have different levels built out within your business so that you can have social proof. Why is this important? It's important because it validates you, it validates your business, and essentially it helps you to build credibility so that people can know, like, and trust you. Okay. And when you can go ahead and get people to know, like, and trust you because you're authentic and you're trustworthy, and you can show certain levels of social proof, then you can start to get conversions. One of the reasons why, I'll go ahead and stick this point in, I most oftentimes, when I teach at 7 a.m. and I'm given an outline as to how you can get quick wins to go ahead and build in the process of building your online business, one of the reasons why I tell business owners that are online to get a stand store is because in the back of stand store, if you have digital products and services and you're using that particular landing page for your products and services, there's a level of social proof being built up. And so for me, when I have different levels of income coming through that process, I'm consistently taking screenshots. When I do my cash outs, I'll go ahead and I'll take a video so that there's social proof. That means that the system and the strategy that I went ahead and I put into place is working. There is a video that I have on TT that shows the number that I made within the first couple of months of my online business cleaning remote agency. I apologize, guys. And so you want to show this social proof once again, because it shows credibility. You can do that by screenshots. You can screenshot different DMs, maybe potentially with your clients thanking you, or, showing that your system or your service worked for them. Then you can do something like before and after results. This would really be good for a service-based business. I know I had a gentleman in the live this morning. He had an HVAC business. If you have some type of social proof that shows before and after, if you have like a remote cleaning business like me, if you can show proof of before and after, it helps to validate that one, you obtain the lead, but then additionally, you got the end result of what the client was looking to receive in terms of results. Next, you can go ahead and create like short clips. You can create quote graphics, case studies. Additionally, also in this social proof process, you can show behind the scenes. A lot of people will do this when they're packing orders, they're showing results. I know for a little bit there, I didn't continue to flow in this business, but I'm such a creative and a serial entrepreneur. I probably have dibbled and dabbled in several different things, right? And that's what you'll find when you really have a desire to be an entrepreneur, which is essentially a crazy person, but it definitely pays off well. Once you can get past certain, levels of it and consistently stomach it, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. It's not an easy journey. What essentially will begin to happen, hold on, guys, looks like we are not charging again. Oh boy. Hold on. I'm having some issues with this phone. Good old Apple, right? When you get to the end of your life of your phone, then the battery starts acting crazy. So it looks like I'm getting a 17 soon, which is annoying. But I think I was saying I had a shop. I think it's still on IG. So you can go check it out. It's called Intentional Lady Creatives. And when I first started the t-shirt shop, it wasn't like a regular Shopify store where people utilize a platform called Printify to be able to print their t-shirts for drop shipping. But it was more or less me taking you through the creative process of showing how I created my t-shirts. I'm looking over here because I have like a whole heat press setup. A heat press is essentially the machine that you buy that helps to press whatever material that you have. Like this was heat pressed on your t-shirt. And so I wanted to do my business that way. When I had that particular business, I plan on resurrecting it because I felt like I could utilize the process of creating the shirts as my social proof. You get what I'm saying? So when I was printing receipts for my clients, because my home base was on Etsy, I also had a website for Intentional Lady Creatives, and I also sold jewelry. But I just wanted to show people the process. So if they went ahead and they ordered a t-shirt with me, they could see the process of it being made. And then it really did well in terms of connecting to content. So that's why creating content at any level for your business is something that's important, because it shows the behind the scenes. It shows what you're doing, how you're doing it, right? You can do snippets of like SOPs, okay? Just your process essentially of how you're going to do things every day. You can show workflows. You can show different receipts being printed if you have a t-shirt business. If you're a coach, like I said, you can create different interviews with the people that you're working with that's getting results, all of the different things, okay? Client videos, clips, text overlays, all of the different things. These things are important. And what happens as we get to day 18 is that what you'll see is that there's a momentum that's going to drive to the building out of your community. Essentially, I kind of went ahead of myself. Your social proof will then leak into you building a community is where I was trying to go, okay? Now, when it comes to community, right? Community equals connection, okay? Community equals connection. And this is why essentially when people start to build up their community, they build up virality, okay? They have the potential. So when I'm sitting in a live and people begin to share out the live, then all of a sudden my numbers go up. Why? Because virality is happening, right? More and more people, thank you, Bree, I appreciate you, like in the live, more and more people are finding out about the community. So then that's when I'll say, hey, when you come into my live, if you can do me a favor and tap at the screen, it's definitely not primarily for me, but I also want to know, obviously, that you're engaging with the live, and I want you to go ahead and tap the screen and power share so that you can go ahead and get the live out to other female entrepreneurs so that I can help them with passion build their online businesses. Why do they need to build online businesses? Because we need multiple streams of income, because one stream of income is too close to no streams, because of the fact that it's important that we do not have a government or anybody else telling us when our family is going to eat. I can give you 50 different reasons why we need to be building multiple streams of income. It's no longer a cliche. It's no more. Thank you so much, Kristen, for the follow. It's no more of you, kind of sitting on your app. Let's keep it a buck because I'm coaching tonight, hating on other people, talking about, oh, they didn't sell those products and services. If you did not take the steps, all right, I'm dealing with a mindset to go ahead and do what a person did, then you do not have a right to be a hater. Do the work and then you get the results. Do the work, get the results. If you're sitting on these live videos, I'm going off on a tangent, but I'm gonna go with it, and you're hating on people because you see them get on live every day, then you don't understand what's going on because you have a consumer's mindset. You're watching them do the thing. You're not doing it. So in order to stop being a hater, what you now have to do is get on that side. That's real talk. Now you have to get on that side. And one thing that you'll realize when you start to build an online business, you have less time to be sitting in people's lives because you getting your own money. You're serving your own people. You're building your own community. Hey, Jasmine, welcome to the live. That's real, right? And you no longer have to be at this place whereas you are like, oh my goodness, people that have online businesses, it's all a fraud. Now, I'm not saying that everybody ain't a fraud. I think there are a few frauds out there. You know what I'm saying? But majority of the people that you see show up every single day, they're showing you social proof, they're making things happen. They are just doing the work, right? They are just doing the work, and they have figured out what the momentum and the cadence is that's needed to be able to dive into this amazing space. Like, we're living in a time to where as you literally can create products and services online and make money. I call it magic money. I call it magic money. I am still in awe of the fact that I went on Canva, created digital products, went on YT, created that channel, and I'm making money literally from these products and services that I offer people. It's the most gratifying thing. Or I went ahead and I did the work to create a remote cleaning business agency, and essentially I can do that business from home. It's amazing, but it takes work. It takes a shift in mentality. It takes consistently showing up. It takes consistently making sure that you have a mentality whereas you don't operate in fear because you know what your positioning is as a business owner, and that's to go ahead and serve people. Thank you, Coach Audrey, for liking the live, right? And so I'm very passionate, but I think that most oftentimes we can just get caught up in the sensationalism of what we see and don't necessarily understand. You have to understand what's going on. What are people doing? Why are there so many people on TikTok selling? Because it's something that works, because they've cracked the quote unquote code of what it means to utilize social media as something that's positive, that's shifting the trajectory of their lives, their legacy, and their family at the end of the day. And when you want to get on that train, you will do your due diligence to making sure that you're tapping into what other people are doing, right? Especially if you want levels of freedom within your life. When I lost my corporate job at the time, was going through a divorce, I knew the power of social media. I was a marketing consultant for this startup company, and they fired me a few days before Christmas. There were discrepancies because your girl knows what she knows, okay? Your girl knows what she knows. And the fact that I'm still able to make money without being connected to that particular startup is proof. But all of that being said, I knew even though I was going through what I went through and I had to slow down in terms of my endeavors, even with this page in particular, if you scroll back, I have videos, I think all the way from 2022, but there's a gap, right? And the gap happened because when I went through my divorce, I had to put everything down because now I was living a completely different life after 15 years of marriage, right? And I had to refigure things out. All of that being said, I still was savvy when I went ahead and I restarted my journey. And I'm going to talk about community. I have not forgotten when I restarted my journey. And I knew if I created a piece of content that equaled social proof in the long run, that then I would be able to create a community of female entrepreneurs that either were empathetic of my journey and wanted to see me win because they were dealing with the exact same thing, or just wanted to see what the process would be like because of the fact that they wanted to build an online business as well. It's always strategy. So if you have a chance to look on my TT page, I do have the video that I posted on the day that I lost my corporate job. There was obvious fear in that video. I did it 2 hours after, but as a marketing consultant, as a digital marketer, I knew that I was going to do the work to build back up to where I needed to be. Okay. Because I had lost everything going through that divorce. Okay. But God was faithful. And now, after going through some things, now I have more to add to my story, which essentially connects to my business. All right. So, all of that being said, my point was do the work so that you can get the results. Stop being a consumer, stop being a hater, do the work so that you can get the results at the end of the day, and implement what these social media gurus are telling you to do so that then you can get the results and you don't have to operate in a level of fear. Okay. So next, we're talking about the importance of building community, not followers. You can have people on any platform that have hundreds and thousands of followers, but they do not have a strategy as to make money on the platform. That's real. Okay. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have the structure, the strategy, okay, and also the mentality to be able to run it up, I don't care how many people you have following you. Because a lot of times people have a lot of followers and they're entertainers, but they still may not have necessarily tapped into the power of digital marketing, how to market their particular content so that then they can get a bag, because it takes structure and strategy. Now, some people, they do have the followers because they're very entertaining. And then they tapped into the power of being monetized through the different platforms. But there's a bag that they're missing, because do they have the systems and the automations, right? All of that being said, it's super duper important for you to make sure that you can connect to communities that inspire you, so that you can learn the strategy to build your type of community. All right. I already mentioned to you that virality is a moment. All right. I don't think I said that. We talked about virality, connecting to connection, but virality is a moment. Okay. So then that goes back to the fact that I said to you guys, when you have people that have a whole lot of different followers, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're making money in their business. Okay. If they even have a business, they might be an entertainer and they don't necessarily know how to connect. Now, when you're talking about virality, this is the way I look at virality. If you have 300 followers and you have a video that maybe hit, let's say you have 300 followers, you have a video that hit 10K views. To me, that's a level of virality that you hit in your business. But the thing is, you have to recognize that with virality, it's a moment. It's a moment. And you see it so many times. You see people that may have had, a particular piece of content that went viral and then it kind of stops there. And I think that that happens because of the fact that when you don't hone in on a piece of content in terms of connecting to your analytics, I'm going to talk a little like a digital marketer, but follow me. You don't connect a piece of content to your analytics, meaning to say you have not done the work of looking in the back end to see what's working in terms of your content, then you have not learned the strategy of creating repetition and repurposing the content. What do I mean? Anytime you're creating content for your business and it hits a level of virality, your job is to pay attention to the fact that there is something in that piece of content that people connected to, that they like, that they're interested in. It's something that you said. And what you need to go ahead and do is create that piece of content over and over and over and over and over again. Because when you're creating content, it's like a lottery system, right? I don't know how many of y'all played a lottery, but people that played a lottery, they're consistently putting a ticket in. Okay. Your grandma and grandpa may play the lottery. All right. They're putting that ticket in. And if, let's say, they do that for a long amount of time, eventually they're going to hit. And if you've ever done like scratch offs or whatever have you, it has to at least be one time you hit $120 if you do it consistently, right? That's what social media and content is like. You never know what's going to hit. So it's important for you to make sure that you're creating different levels of content, not just for the sake of virality, but also connecting to community. Because when you connect to your community is what gives you momentum. Your virality, okay, is a moment, but your community is what gives you momentum. Your community is what's going to take things in your business to the next level, because people that believe in your products and services, believe in your particular voice. If you do like coaching like me, they're going to carry the community. And that goes back to what I said about a lot of times, like you'll see like business building communities. And like back in the day, it was all about like this one person. Nowadays, people in the community connect to each other. And then there's a momentum that happens because of the connection in the community. And that's what you want to think about when you're creating community. Everybody that you see that has a massive amount of followers, they didn't get there by themselves. Beyonce is not Beyonce because she just Beyonce. She has a community. It's a beehive. And the beehive helps to create everything that she has in terms of her momentum. Okay. They will sting you in the comments. All right. They share her albums. They do all of the different things. So no matter what industry, hey, Michelle, welcome in, you're talking about, you have to have community. Community is something that's very, very important to be able to take your business to the next level. A lot of times in service-based businesses, you hear people say, my business was able to take off because of word of mouth. Why? Because of community. Other people, good evening, are telling other people about the business. So you have to have a mentality to connect to community. You have to. And it's not going to be something that happens overnight. I hear female entrepreneurs say, well, I'm not going to go live because of the fact that, I only have 1 or 2 people in my room. So what? Those 1 or 2 people are going to be able to help you build up momentum and social proof. When other people see other people doing stuff, then they automatically do it. Try getting in a crowd and see a 1 person run. What you going to do? Stand there? No, you're going to go with the community and start running. you going to. Why? Because other people are doing it, right? And so that's how social media works as well. Okay, so we know that virality is a moment. Don't worry about that. But when you are having a mentality, it's true, right, Coco? When you have a mentality to be able to say, I'm building a community, then you realize that takes time. The Beyonce that we knew, because I'm 41, back in the day, say my name, say my name. That is not the Beyonce that we know now that books out the stadiums. Okay. Well, nobody, was paying attention to her back in the day. But now the Beyonce that we know now, I went to her concert. Okay. It was my first huge concert. And oh my God, they had like these, I don't know, fire jets and all this stuff. I said, oh my goodness, it's not the same Beyonce that I know. Because she built community. She has a hive. She understood that she could present with social proof through her albums. And then she had a community that helped to build her up. Okay. No man or woman is an island. Very important. Okay. And so I wanted to make a point. Hold on. Where are you? In terms of all of this, but one thing I think that is super important, I apologize, I kind of lost my train of thought. One thing that's super duper important is that you also learn that there are different ways, or should I say platforms, that you can build community, because social media is a great place to be able to have a momentum to build community. But one thing that you want to be able to start to do is to create like a hub for your community. All right. Thank you, Coco, for the follow. I appreciate you, sis. And so what do I mean? People do this, if you pay attention, I'm pretty sure you're in one of these, even if you weren't conscious of it. But people want to be able to almost like in a way cover their community, or start to create a fear of like, how can I say this? Like FOMO, okay? Fear of missing out. Like it's almost like an elite thing. So let me give the example. Like when you see, you're sitting on live and you're watching me, that's cool. But if I have a back end community, right now, my community looks cooler, and it starts to make you kind of wonder what's going on in the background if it's housed in a hub. That's what I meant to say. So for instance, if I have a closed Facebook group that you can only get into if you purchase one of my products and services, it makes it more mysterious, right? If I have a circle group, that's a particular platform where there are communities that are housed. You're like, oh my God, what's going on in there? So when I finished building out Domino Entrepreneurship Society, right, and you're seeing all this social proof that I'm posting. Women are like, oh my goodness, I scaled my business because I joined this community and it's a sisterhood and all the different things. You're like, shoot, I need to join Dominant Entrepreneurship Society. Hey, Courtney, welcome in. I need to join that community, right? I want to see what's on the inside of it. And we wonder, and then all of a sudden, you want to be a part of that community because you understand that people, right, Coco, are getting results, and you want to be a part of that. It's like an elite thing. Now, people also house their communities on a platform called School. That's SKOOL. They're actually running a special right now for $9. So if your business is at a place where you are doing the work with showing up on social media to drive your momentum, right? You're consistently teaching and you're engaging on these platforms, then your next level would be to build out a community. Plus, that's another stream of income. So for me, the next community that's upcoming, and if you'd like to be a part of it, which I think is an amazing community, is going to be a content collective community for female entrepreneurs. Why do we need this? We need this because a lot of times some of the conversions are not happening essentially in our businesses because we don't know how to go ahead and create content. Okay. And content that converts to sales. And so what I'm creating is a content community for female entrepreneurs. We're going to go live in the group. I'm going to create some modules that help you to understand the logistics and the operations of what it means to create certain levels of content. Because at the end of the day, it really is a strategic thing. You just posting a cute picture every now and again, or whatever's in your phone is not enough. You got to get a strategy, sis. You have to have a strategy. You have to have automations. You have to have systems. You have to have content calendars that essentially connect to your themes. There are several different things that you have to do to be able to then see sales happen. Now, there are certain things that are being tested out. So for instance, right now with me, I'm on live every day, and I'm going to tell you guys what I'm doing. For my content that's on TT, I recently have not created content for a couple of days now because I'm testing. I want to see on this platform if I'm still able to grow my following by consistently just going live versus posting content. It's a strategy behind everything. You also have to know how to talk to people as well. Absolutely. You do have to know how to talk to people, and not just people, your people, right? My people that's connected to me, they're more than likely like me. Thank you, Coco, for liking the live. I appreciate you. We're the same people. When I think about my particular avatar and the communities that I'm creating, I think about certain levels of what I went through. I think about certain things that female entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs tell me in my DMs. I think about the people that I'm serving when it comes to connecting to community or either going live, right? I'm always thinking about those people. It's not just about Tamia, but it's about who I have the ability to be able to serve. Okay. And it should be like that for you too. So when you are in the process of creating a community, you want to make sure that you create hubs. I just told you about different platforms if you're taking notes. Do a Facebook group that connects to your business page. You don't have a business page, create a business page. There's perks to it. Okay. On FB. Lord, I can't say the word. You can look into a community or a group or a particular tool called Circle, right? You can also connect to School. They're doing a $9 a month. I think it's usually $99, but it's $9 a month to create a school community for your particular community, right? And then you create like that FOMO for other people, like, oh, what they doing over there? I want to join that. And then they're opt in, and that's another stream of income. Okay, so your content can be stream of income connected to the particular platform that you're on. If you're monetized at a certain level, if you have the things that are necessary. So for example, when you think about TT, if you have 1,000 followers and you automatically unlock to be able to be a part of TikTok Shop, that's a bag. So for me, I don't think they let me. I use it too much this particular week, but what I was doing when I got on live, because you're only allowed a allotted amount of times to be able to do this, is I was connecting different products that would connect to me being able to sell as an affiliate through my TikTok shop. So if you had ever come to my live within the last couple of days, particularly this morning, I had like different entrepreneurship books from the TikTok shop connected, just in case female entrepreneurs wanted to go ahead and buy. All right. So All of that being said, it's super duper important that you create a community on the different platforms and then connect your community to different types of strategies essentially that will help you to be able to run up a bag. Okay. But you just got to think about this stuff. Multiple streams of income. If you have a coaching service, okay, I'm taking in clients for my coaching services, but how can I create another bag? Okay, I can do digital products. That would give me another stream of income. Okay, now I can create a community. That would give me, I just named 3 streams of income, right? So when I first found your page, I was like at 2 followers, and that was just me and you. Really? You said you were at 2, and child, probably was me at 2. Now, 2 weeks later, with your knowledge, are you serious? That's a social proof. So what am I going to do, guys? Screenshot it, and I'm gonna put it in my story. That's social proof. Okay, that's social proof, and this is what we do as digital marketers. Because Spaced Out Candy said she was at 2, and she's been implementing now. She got 230 followers. Spaced Out Candy, have you been to the engagement rooms? Awesome. Have you been to the engagement rooms? When you're trying to get to 1,000 followers, the fastest way to be able to do it. I know for me, my strategy is different. Okay. I'm creating content. I'm going live to be able to run up this page. But if you are ever scrolling and you see people, they're in their live, they're dancing, they're like, tap the screen, go ahead and share out the live, do your daily heart meet. Those are called engagement rooms. People join those rooms just in case you were trying to figure out what the heck was going on so that they can run up their followers. So some of the greatest creators that you see, they go to these engagement rooms, right? And the more social proof you have with your following, then the more you can be able to convert sales, because people are followers. But you don't just want followers, you want to be able to build a community. So you can do the engagement stuff, but you also want to make sure that you're creating community at the same time. Okay. Another thing that's important when you're building community is that you want to make sure that you respond to people. If you send me a DM, I'm gonna send you a response because I want to build relationship with you. I'm so interested. Oh my God, I got about 2 ladies that I have to send ebooks to, because I did give ebooks away from 2 ladies that lost their job earlier today. So I have to remember to do that, guys. Oh my goodness, all the different things. But if you send me a DM, right, I'm going to respond to you. I'm going to send you a note. I'm like, hey, beautiful, how you doing? Thank you so much for, joining me. Let me know how I can help you, right? Did you check out the products and services that I have in my LINK? Did you buy my 2 ebook bundle to be able to start your business? Do you want to go ahead and get coaching? Please join my newsletter. These are my offerings. Why join my newsletter? Because I want to be able to let you know when I have different things going on, or I might have a resource or a video that I created that could really help you to be able to build your business. That's what community is. Okay. And so if you have any questions at this point surrounding anything that I mentioned with regards to building community within your business, and now would be the time to be able to drop your question. Okay. Now will be the time. All right. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of action steps when it comes to building community, like we talked about. Hey, and then also I'm going to give you some action steps when it comes to the social proof element. All right. So if you're taking notes, I want you to go ahead and create one post that's connected to your business, or even if you don't have a business, I want you to write down this information that's going to connect to a post that you're going to create eventually, or you can test it out within your business. Okay. So it's going to be a post that essentially connects to proof. All right. Are your lives at 7 p.m.? They're twice a day. So right now we're in the middle of a challenge. So I'm on days 17 and 18. That's just what I went through in terms of teaching. But between 7 a.m. and 7:30, because I'm a mom. So I give a window 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every day. And then also at 7 p.m., between 7 p.m. and 7:30, thereabout, in the evening. Okay, so when we finish the challenge, then I'll go ahead and then figure out a second time, because 7 a.m. definitely works, but I'll figure out a good second time, or I'll just randomly go live maybe like at 12 different times. But the best thing that you could do is turn on your notifications so that when I go live, you'll get a notification and then you'll be able to see it. Okay. So what was I saying? Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead. This is where you get results. This is where I find out if you're an action taker. This is where you cannot say, oh, well, I don't know, I know I heard you, but I didn't necessarily implement it. No, you got to implement, you got to take action. Okay. Hey, Jojo, welcome in. And so here's what you're going to do. I think they're making me, hold on, guys. I got to make sure that I can validate that I'm a real person so they don't cut the video off. Hold on. All right. See, that's my issue. What, implementing Coco? You got to take action. You know what you should do? This is one of the things I don't do life coaching anymore, but when I was doing mentorship and life coaching, you got to get a motivational factor, and then we'll go to the action steps. What motivates you to do what you do? Do you have children? Do you have a goal you want to hit? I want you to think about that motivational factor. Okay. And when you get that thing on your mind, that's what's going to help you stay consistent in your business building. Okay. Think about a motivational factor. If it's your children, think about your children. Start to sit down, take a couple of minutes and think about how you potentially want to see different things, happen in terms of your life or in their lives, in their future, in the legacy that you're leaving for them. Okay. That's something that I deep dive in. My children are my motivational factor. I'm my motivational factor. Girl, I done been through so much. I've been through so much. I tell people all the time about the divorce after 15 years. Girl, all right. Yes, generational wealth. Get your mind on the thing and understand that you don't have forever to do it. That's real. You don't have forever to do it. And each day that happens is not that we operate in fear, but we don't know what's coming next. So I got to do the thing today. I got to operate in purpose today. As soon as my feet hit the floor, when I get out the bed, I'm here and I'm showing up. And when you begin to push, just like when you was pushing to have the babies, you couldn't stop. That's real, right? The doctors and the nurses like, push, if you had natural birth. But from mother to mother, okay, you had to go through the process whether you wanted to or not. Right? You had to deliver that baby. So when you think about different things from that perspective, you like, my online business building is just as important as it was bringing my kids into this world, because I understand that what I'm doing is an example. My kids know, mommy, you going live? We celebrate when we make money. We celebrate. I tell them, guys, this is how much I made in my businesses today. They celebrate. They're excited. And it starts to build a momentum in them of hard work, which is super duper important. And as parents, we want our kids to become greater than we were, right? One of my kids, I know he's going to be a billionaire. The way his brain works, so I have to make sure that I'm always in a position of showing what hard work looks like and what pushing looks like, no matter what we deal with. Okay, I kind of went off on a tangent, but that was real. Get a motivational factor. Keep your eye on that thing. You could even, one thing that I used to teach, get like an actual item, and you can connect that to your motivational factor. So like if it's a bracelet, you put the bracelet on, like maybe if you can get like charms with your kid's name on it and wear it every single day. Right. And when you look down at the bracelet, that's your reminder. Oh my God, I need to make sure that I do the thing. Those things work because they're psychological. All right. So when we do a recap connected to community, your action steps, okay, for today's 2 sessions. It's crazy how I have multiple businesses and I let my horrible relationship almost blow my candle. You just got to take a breath. You just got to take a breath. Because what I tell people, and I will go through the recap, is sometimes you just gotta stop, breathe, and then keep going. You don't quit, but you gotta take a breath. So, for example, I was in my marriage for 15 years. I always reference this because it's a part of my business endeavors, because it's a part of me. And I was doing everything. Mentorship, speaking, my businesses, all of the different things. And I had to put everything on hold when I went through my divorce. And it was the most hurtful thing. But I knew that I just had to put it on hold for just a quick second, right? I knew it was coming, but the way that I knew it was coming was people started to recognize that I was unhappy, and they would say, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. I had one person say that, you're so good at what you do. Why are you not doing it? Like, now is the time. You've gotten you and your children to where you need to be. Now get back to doing the thing. And the moment I was like, you know what, you're right, I need to do the thing, then I got back there, and now I guard my peace. Now, what I learned prior to, even I plan on getting married again. Okay, I love love, but now I know in that situation that I have to guard myself in a good way, meaning to say, like, I'm not bitter from going through what I went through, but I have to guard my purpose. I have to guard my heart and make sure that regardless of what's going on, I have a relentless focus. Because as moms and as nurturers that connect to husbands, or if you got a man, it's so easy for us to get off track as women, because we're nurturers. Like, we always want to make sure everybody's okay, but you better make sure that you have your purpose too, because in the end you'll be unhappy. And one thing I'm going to tell y'all about men, which I absolutely love, is that a man ain't stopping his bag. They're not. They'll work through anything, but women will. We're like, stop. No, they don't stop making their money. That's one of the things I learned about men. They're going to make their money. So as women, we need to make sure we're making our money. Okay, be in love, but make your money at the end of the day. All right, so your action steps essentially are going to be as follows. Okay, you're going to create one post, even if you don't have a business. Think about your business, implement some of the things that we talked about in my live earlier. Connect to your business model, pick your niche, make sure you have your offer, create your systems, and then you're going to go ahead and start to create a piece of content, a video. Okay, that even if you don't have the testimonial yet, create almost like a sample testimonial. Okay, or instead of doing that, if you don't have a business, talked about how maybe your process of implementing certain things in your business has helped you, because that's what you can talk about before you get results. I'm doing this particular thing and this is how it's helping me. But inevitably, you just want to go ahead and get used to um, working in creating like different levels of social proof for your business. Okay, that's the reason why you're doing it. Okay, or you can start to, if you already have testimonials for your online business. I don't care if 3 people bought your product. At the end of every week, I want you to start creating something called receipt rounds. Okay, receipt roundups. So it could be like 3 different quick screenshots that you put in a piece of content. It could have like a voiceover or like a lesson behind it. Hey, First Lady G, welcome in. And so this is going to be able to help you to be able to get that social proof. Okay, you can do like a mini case study and put it in a piece of content, right? And what you're showing in that case study is essentially what the problem is, what the process is, and then what the result is. And then you can give a tip. Okay, because everything has to have a sequence, and it has to have a strategy, and it has to have a formula. I'll say that again. What was the problem? What was the problem? Because remember, you're a business owner, you're a problem solver. Then how did that connect to the process? What did that look like? Right? How did your particular customer or client get a result? And then share a tip. This is how you create that momentum. Okay. Now, if you're at a higher level in your business, I want you to start researching the platforms that I told you about, because you're creating multiple streams of income. Yeah, you have the coaching business. Yeah, you have the service-based business, but how can I add another stream to that? If you don't have digital products, then get digital products. If you have digital products, then you need to be thinking about opening up a group chat, or potentially like a community space. Think about something free like Facebook, okay, or FB. Lord have mercy. I want to get restricted, guys. Okay, right? Or you can create a newsletter. I have a newsletter. If you want to see what that looks like, hit the LINKMIBIO. Connect to my newsletter, and then you'll see the email welcome sequences, or you'll see the series that I create. Okay. If you're on my email list, then weekly you should get some kind of email from me. This is creating community and also potentially social proof. Because sometimes people will reply to the emails. They'll reply to the emails like, sis, this helped, right? Even my business email, when I'm dealing with my coaching clients, they'll reply and I reply back. Now, there comes a point in your business to where as when things really start to grow and take off and you don't have the capacity to be able to do that. But I think even when you scale your business, you still have to kind of keep a pulse and a touch to the community. It's super duper important to be able to do that. Okay. And so those are the different action steps that you're going to take in terms of implementing different levels of social proof we talked about and also community within your business. Okay. So now I want to invite you to take action. If you're saying that you want to go ahead and start an online business, I'm going to give you two different offerings. What was the receipt one called again? The receipt one, in terms of the action steps, was called Receipt Roundups. Thank you, Des, for the follow. I appreciate you. Receipt Roundups. Okay. So you're going to do like screenshots every Friday that connect to results that your customers or your clients got. And then you're going to post it on a piece of content. Share it in an email series if you already have an email. No problem, Coco. Got you. Okay. Look into the school platform, FB groups, or either send your testimonials through your email welcome email sequences. Like if you have like a newsletter, and if you don't know what that looks like, join mine, and then you can see how I'm sending out the different emails. Okay, weekly. All right. So I want to invite you guys, if you don't have an online business and you've been watching me like, man, it sounds interesting. I do need multiple streams of income. Doing an online business seems like a low barrier of entry. And I want to get started. You can click the link in my bio and grab my starter kit. Grab my business starter kit. Okay. I don't think I changed the price from this morning. I think it's still $17. So while it's $17, go and grab it. Okay. Additionally, if you're like, you know what, I think I need more than just the ebook, which the ebook is really good. It's going to help you in terms of like having a workbook. You're going to write the vision, make it plain, run with it. That's what I tell people. I'm going to be coaching you throughout the book. We're going to talk about your business idea. I give you several different business ideas that you can create. All right. Your model. Then we'll talk about some marketing things. I'll give you some statistics and I'll ask you different questions. So it's like you have me with you in the ebook, asking you questions and coaching you through it. The other ebook is the Ladypreneur Guide. And the Ladypreneur Guide, hey, your real estate stats. That's a pretty cool name if I said it right. In the other ebook, I have a 4-day action plan for you. Okay. And in that ebook, you're just going to work through different components of building your online business. It's a 2-part ebook starter kit. And I never lowered the price, and it's $17. But if you feel like you want to be able to have like almost like a connection that connects to me kind of holding your hand throughout your business building, then I do offer an accelerator program. Okay. And that program is 4 weeks. Right now it is on sale for $200, which is less than what is the number? $67.50, something like that when it's $250. But it's gonna be like $60 a week. And then through the platform that I use, which I think is Stripe, you have the option to be able to do Klarna, which will give you small payments if you qualify for that. On the Coaching Lady CEO Accelerator, we essentially talk about different components of your business. I do a consultation for $15. Okay, $15. And after I go ahead and review your application, when we get on the 15-minute consulting call that you pay $15 consultation call, excuse me, then you're going to go ahead, if we feel like we're a good fit, and then I'll go ahead and send you your agreement and all of the different things. When you coach with me, you get 2 sessions a week for 4 weeks. In those 2 sessions, essentially, we'll meet for an hour. I already have given you the roadmap. I'm sharing files with you, all of the different things. After the hour session, you get 2 per week for 4 weeks. You feel like you still have questions, You then have my business phone number where you could text me, okay, and ask me different questions. All right. And I'm like this, nobody knows everything. If there's something that I do not know, I'm going to make sure you have it. Just like you go to your doctor's office, you ask them a question, they be Googling stuff. I'm going to make sure you get what you need. All right. I know a lot through my endeavors and experiences, but if there's something that I don't know, I will tell you I do not know. Just give me a second, and we'll be able to figure it out. And that's like in terms of like platforms. Maybe you did research like, hey, Tamia, what do you think about this particular platform? Well, I'm coaching you. So I'm going to do the research and the comparison, and then we'll see if that platform is a good platform. But most oftentimes, if you coach with me, then I'm giving you the blueprint for what I've done in terms of my businesses, and what I know works. Okay. So you have the opportunity to be able to click the LINK on my BIO to coach with me or to get the online business blueprint. And then you also want to make sure that you connect to um, the newsletter, because the upcoming content community for Lady CEOs is upcoming. It's going to be a subscription based community to whereas we'll get together monthly, not monthly, but within the month to create our content. So we'll be like, I'll be playing music and answering questions, giving you guys strategies for your content. We'll talk through some stuff. It'll be like a Q&A. I'll post some modules. And so that will give you the leverage to batch your content so that you're creating strategic content, and then you don't have to worry about conversion in terms of your sales. We'll put some automations in there and everything, okay? So if you're interested, definitely click the link, okay, and go from there. I was supposed to say LINK. I'm so over TT with these abbreviations. It's just like, gosh. All right, ladies. So I'm gonna go ahead. I went to 9 o'clock and sign out. You can watch the replay of this if you just came in the room. You don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Hey, Style Genetics. But it sounded like it was interesting. Go and follow me over on YT. I can't say the full word. No problem, Coco. I got you. And then you'll be able to watch the replay of the other 30 days. They should be on a playlist called 30 Day Challenge. And we're in days 17 and 18. We talked about social proof in your business and also community. Tomorrow, you can go ahead and join me. I'll be doing days 19. What did I say? 17, 18, 19, and 20 tomorrow, because we're playing catch up, right? Because we're in 30 days and it's a lot. And I'll go ahead and give you guys a sneak peek. So days 20 and 21 is going to be go live and sell softly. And then we'll do a week 3 recap. Okay. So I'll reinforce like marketing habits. And if you've gotten results from any of the teaching, we'll celebrate that, all of the different things. Okay. So you guys have an amazing night. I know that this information was helpful, but it's not enough for you to get information. You must implement to get results. Okay. You want to get to that bag before 2026 comes in, and you'll be able to pop out. Go to Disney World. All right. You guys have a good night. Shoot me a DM. Click those LINK so you can get your resources. Start now. Okay. Don't wait till tomorrow. Start now. All right. Have a good night, guys. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. between 7 a.m. Thank you, Coco. And 7:30. Turn on your notifications so you can meet me here, because it's going to be lit like it is every morning. All right. Have a good night, guys. Make sure you bring a friend. Bye. All right, YT, I'm signing off. Whoever that is watching, bye.